Hey guys, Kenny here. Stay cool and relax to the movies. Bye.
Hey everyone, I'm back with another episode of Cinema Bombs, this time on the 2008 film Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. This obviously is about Indiana Jones trying to return this crystal skull back on an altar, and the journey he does make trying to go and do that. He has this friend of his who it's like he keeps going back and forth, double crossing him, triple crossing Indiana. Ooh. And then he has this supposed son played by Shia LaBeouf, who I think his name is Mud. I think his name is Mud in this. I didn't really see a point in him being in this film. And then Karen Allen returns as Marin Ravenwood. And then they rekindle their relationship, and it was sweet and tender seeing them come back together again. And Indiana soon learns that Marin had a son, and it turns out that Mud is the son. So Indiana has a son that he never knew about. So Mud. And Cate Blanchett plays this. I think she's Russian or German. She plays this woman who is pursuing Indiana, and she's the one who puts him on this journey of trying to get this skull and return it back to the altar. So that's really what this whole film is really about. The reason I'm doing this is there's so many really bad things in this film. Like there's really three main ones. Like that whole crystal skull idea, and then there's the aliens that are there. That was really, it makes sense, but it still was written not very well. That was really written very poorly. And then there's that, what's it called? What is it? Nuclear explosion, and then Indiana gets into that refrigerator. That was so stupid. No one could survive that. And then there's that fighting scene. First there's that Indiana is fighting this really big Russian or German man. I can't remember. I think it was German. I think it's the Germans. He's fighting this really big man, and then there are these ants that are going, really giant ants that are also around them. And then when the skull is dropped, they all walk around that thing, and so that was a really stupid scene, that ant scene. And then Mud is doing like a sword fight with Cate Blanchett's character, and Mud he has his legs spread across these two cars, so he's trying to fight her while trying to balance himself. That was stupid. And then probably the most famous is Mud, Shia LaBeouf's character, flying on these like really long vines from trees, and then he's swinging, and then monkeys are following him. That was so stupid. And then it's just, this really didn't feel like an Indiana Jones film like how I am used to it. Because I didn't feel like the script was very strong in this. Even the acting is really bad. I liked Harrison Ford, Shia LaBeouf, and Karen Allen. But other than that, everyone else, like Ray Winston plays his friend in this who keeps double and triple crossing him. And other than Harrison, Karen, and Shia, everyone else was really terrible in this. It's even Shia, he tried to put in a good performance, but his part really was not written and fleshed out very well, so he didn't have very much to do, and so in turn I think his part is really bad. Karen Allen she really didn't need a return. She was really there returning, in my opinion, for fanfare and for the fans, and she had a good part. She tried to do good in what she had, but even she didn't have very much to do. Harrison Ford he tried to act very good in this. To me, it really felt like he was trying to put in a good performance, but with everything else that was written around his character that was bad, he also in turn would end up being really bad in this film. It really does pain me to try and put this film down, but there are things I enjoy in it, but it's so dull and boring in this. Some of the action is good, but that's about the only really good thing in this. Even the action is not very good in this. This film is also really hunkered down with a lot of visual and special effects. More visual effects, computer generated effects, and a lot of those are, none of those really are very good looking at all. And it's not like the other three Indiana Jones, where everything in that was really done practically, or like in Last Crusade, there was a lot of matte paintings going on, effects in that. So everything really was done physically or drawn in or hand painted in. And that's really what makes those scenes very memorable. I know there is some visual effects in Raiders of the Lost Ark, but that was in the beginning, so that was probably, some of that was probably done by computers, but mostly hand-drawn. And then I really felt like they overdid the special effects in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So I don't hate it, this film, but I try not to think about it very much. I've seen it some through the years since 2008, like maybe 2 or 3 times, but it was so dull, and unfortunately I still remember it. So I have to be really open and honest about this film, that I would like to have seen a 5th, but I think I heard there won't be a 5th Indiana Jones, unfortunately. There are things I enjoy in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but they're really too few and far between. And there is a good scene of Mud. He keeps calling Indiana old man, and come on old man again. Then Mud keeps having this thing where he brushes his hair every time in every scene. He keeps brushing back his hair. It's like oiled hair. He keeps brushing it back over and over. And then there's this bar fight scene, which is actually really fun. And then I think there's this car chase of Mud having Indiana on the back of his motorcycle, so he's driving that. And I think this film is set in the 1950s, so this pokes fun at a lot of the 1950s cliches, but it also really does honor and pay tribute to the 1950s and the things that were going on in the 1950s, the cars, the vehicles, and the way people dressed back then. Because even the 50s, people really did dress nicely. That's some positives I can say about this. Sometimes the action was good, the set design and the costumes were very well done. Even the music score and the songs were really good. sometimes I think in the beginning people criticize the song that plays in the beginning, and I agree that song it was not very it was not smart to use that song there. So there are some positives. So I can watch this, but it's still say the bad really does outweigh the good. So that really had to be open and honest. Click subscribe up here on my channel or down here if you're watching the video by itself. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. So I give this film a 2.5 out of 5 stars. So
Stay scared and have a horrific time at the movies. Bye.